Alright, I just made a whole video and my mom walked in at the end and I'm not really good at editing, so I have to redo it. I even wrote a whole script and whatnot, but I'm not gonna redo the script. Alright, the video is kind of just about work and, you know, like the grind or whatever people like to call it, just jobs, whatnot. Like, personally, I'm gonna talk about this for a while. I'm a young guy, right? I'm unemployed. I don't particularly have anything special going on. I don't go to school. I'm unemployed, and that's a bad combo, I guess, because people are always on my meat about it. Get a job, do this, do that, and I get it. It's obvious. It's not a good thing to be a lazy bum just sitting on your bed all day and whatnot. Fair enough, but like my issue is like, why would I want to get a job nowadays? Like, if you were telling me to get a job and this was like the 90s or the 80s, okay, fair enough. It makes sense. There's a reason to get a job. You can still, I mean, 80s is crazy. Probably like 60s or something. Because like back then you could still afford houses. You could still make a living with jobs. But like nowadays, there's like no type of reason why I would want to work. People say, "Oh, well, you should find a job that you love and that it doesn't even feel like work." But like that's still work. You're still doing something for someone that is profiting them, and you gain what out of it? The enjoyment? No, I don't want to live like that. Like, oh, I love my job. I don't care. Like okay, if you're doing something you love and you can make a living off of it, amazing. Keep doing it. But like I don't want to just do something because I love it and not get like the fair thing that I deserve, which is a living. I deserve to be able to buy a house. I deserve to be able to feed a family. But like that's just impossible now. That's just like so far fetched nowadays. And like um it's like, why would I want to go to work? It's like this facade. It's this act. It's not even work anymore. It's like the idea of work. You don't go to do something anymore. You go to an office job where you write Excel sheets and PowerPoint presentations and Word documents. Like that's not work to me. That's just you being in a corporate machine and you're just a cog, right? You're not. This is a fucking act, right? Let's not pretend that this is not a act. Going to work, doing this, doing that. You don't actually want to do any of that. Let's like be fully honest. And like the issue is, not only are you in this act, not only are you like this character, you're not even a character. That's what I was trying to say. Like you are barely a side character. You're more of like a prop, if anything. Like you're a accessory. You're nothing but like a cog in this huge scheme. And the thing is, you do all of that for money, right? But like, what money? Like, people in the past used to be able to save up, right? People used to gather up, they used to go to work, gather their money, and buy a house and do this and do that. That's not fucking possible anymore, dude. That is just like such a foreign concept to me and to every other young man out there. Like, you can't live like that. You have to hustle, hustle, hustle. You have to get this, start this fucking drop shipping AI content farm, fucking buy my course, do this, do that. And like, that's good. Kinda. Like, that's better than just getting a normal job and slaving away for nothing. But, like, that's still a hustle. That's still you just trying your hardest to climb up when in reality the system is completely rigged against you. I mean, there is no shot you're gonna make it, especially not with these oversaturated methods like drop shipping and AI content. Like, no, you're not gonna strike it rich. You're probably just gonna waste your time. You're gonna go broke, and fair enough. At least you tried, right? You can always say that. But like, what is the worth in trying? Even in a normal job, what's the point in trying? Whenever I ask that, people get so mad. People get like upset. They're like, oh, well, that's just the way things are. What, you think you're better than everyone else? You think you're this? You think you're that? No, I don't. I know I'm like, realistically, I'm gonna be in that same situation no matter what I do. I'm not gonna be able to find some method that's gonna make me rich unless I actually, get good at this YouTube stuff and people watch me. Like, I'm not gonna be able to hustle my way out of this. It's just not possible. It's delusional and it drains you to think like that. That is a draining mindset. That is what turns people into husks. I don't want to be a husk. I want to at least have my individuality. I want to be me at the end of the day. You know, I don't want to go to work, do this, do that, do this, do that, so I can turn into some fucking bot. That would be my night. I would genuinely rather die. I would rather be homeless with AIDS and a meth addict instead of working a 9 to 5 and slaving away just so I can enjoy my 60s and retirement. And that's like another insane thing. People want to like increase the minimum age for the pension. So you have to work even long. You have to even spend more time, more of your precious life doing something that you probably hate. And if you do love what you do, okay, cool, but where has that gotten you? Like, you're probably living in a shitty apartment with fucking kids that you probably have to work your ass off to support and they don't even appreciate it. Like, fuck that. I don't want that. I want to be me. I want to be a individual. And, that's like a Western thing, right? I am very glad that I get to have this mindset. I am grateful that I get to be this selfish type of person that cares about my own individuality instead of other people. Because, like, there's people who have to work, like, at a young age so they can sustain their family. Like, I'm a bum. At least I get to be a bum, right? Even though I'm probably not going to be a bum for any longer. I'm probably gonna be forced to get a job. Someone's gonna do something to where I have to but at least I could say I tried to not, fall into that trap. I know I'm I'm bound to fall into this hole of it's just the way things are. That's the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. That's just the way things are. It pisses me off so much when I hear that. And I'm sure when I ask, what's the point of all of this? Why should I do any of this? They get pissed at that too. Because they were probably in my shoes once. They were a young person who did not want to do this, who thought, yeah, I'm going to be myself and it's going to work out. Yeah. And, they probably got drained of that individuality, that soul, that independence. They probably got sucked out of that because responsibilities exist. And I may be a young guy, but that shit is going to catch up to me eventually. No matter what I do, no matter how hard I try, no matter how many videos I make, I'm probably going to end up just like everyone else. And, that's kind of a negative mindset, but is it not real? Is that not just the way things go? I mean, how can I, if I don't strike it rich with YouTube, how the fuck am I gonna like make money and be able to live on my own? Like, I don't want to be a fucking leech on my family for the rest of my life. Like, that's also a big nightmare of mine. Like, that I'm just some person with illusions of grandeur. I'm gonna be this, I'm gonna be that, and then I end up just being a bum in my mom's fucking house. Like, no, I don't want to live like that. I want to be able to do something at least. I wrote this whole script for this video, but my mom actually walked into my room, so I have to redo this video. Um, but yeah, that's just like, I don't want to live like that, you know. And the whole point of this script was like to just talk about this, like why hustling and like why this job market or whatever, it's just not sustainable anymore. It's not, it doesn't work anymore. And you know, maybe this was always the goal, maybe this was always the end plan, you know. This is what Mr. Rockefeller had in mind when he created this system, you know. But like, I want, if look, if things were like the fucking 60s and the 50s, where you could get a job, friggin' uh make your money, buy your house, create your family. If things did work like that, I would probably be more open to that type of lifestyle. But that's not the way things are anymore. And when people say that's just the way things are, yeah, maybe fucking 80 years ago, not anymore, dude. I don't want to live like that. That sounds like a fucking nightmare. What else? Like, yeah, every aspect of your life nowadays is privatized, fake, and just completely sucked of all essence, right? You go to work, you work 8 hours at a job, you have no fucking clue why you're there. Like 80% of people who have office jobs don't know what the point of their jobs are. You do that 8 hours a day. You finally come back home and you want to just relax. What do? Well, you watch a movie, of course, or something. Hey, how do you watch a movie? With Netflix, with YouTube Premium. You put on some bullshit. Every aspect of your life is not only soulless and a husk, it's also privatized. So not only are you wasting your time watching that shit, which is fine. Obviously, I'm not saying that's a bad. I'm not saying go out there make more money. Like that's whatever. I'll unwind. But what I'm saying is like, even the small things that you think are separate from work and this systemic bullshit. Not really, because you have to pay for your subscriptions. You have to feed your data to these algorithms. Every little thing you do is monetized and privatized. Like, there is no getting away from this shit, you know? You go to work so you can make a company richer. You go home, you have your subscriptions that make companies richer. You buy groceries, even the food you eat is so expensive, and like, it's just mind-boggling that people still say that's just the way things are, you know? Like, why are you okay with this? Like, I get that you probably want to act like you didn't make a mistake, but you did. You've made a big mistake. And now everyone else is also in that same situation you were 20 to 30 years ago. And you're not trying to help them. You're not trying to make this place better. You're not doing any of that. You're just saying, just do what I did because I'm older than you and that makes me automatically smarter than you. Like, no thanks, bro. I'm good off of that. You know, I think the reason I'm like this is because I don't have a father figure. Like, I've never had someone to like put those restrictions on me and tell me to shut the fuck up and do your work, you know? And to be honest, I thank God that I didn't grow up with a father, you know? Like, imagine, I don't even want to imagine that. Like, me being some husk of a human that just does whatever because they're told that's just the way things are. Like, no critical thinking skills, no looking around and saying, what the fuck is this bullshit? What is this mess? And everyone's talking about that's just the way things are. Fuck no, I don't want it to be like that. Um, like, yeah, everything is fake. Everything. Even, like, dude, I saw this, um, like, this, thing that has happened with Volkswagen, the car company. They want you to pay a subscription to use your car to its full extent. So, like, if you don't, you can buy a car for a friend 20 to 50 grand and you still have to pay a subscription. That literally made me want to blow my head off. Like, what? Not only did you go to work 8 hours a day for God knows how long for you to be able to afford that shitty car, you now have to pay a subscription of $20 a month to be able to use it to its full extent. Like, you can't tell me that things are going to get better or that's just the way things are, because if things stay the way they are, then I don't see a future where I want to have kids or I want to make the world a better place. Because holy shit, if everyone else is saying that's just the way things are, it's gonna get worse. Too bad. Like, I don't want to. I'll blow my fucking brains out. I'll be a homeless man smoking crack all day. I would rather have that than be a functional member of society. I don't want that. That's fucked. What else did I write down? Oh yeah, this is probably gonna be a series on my channel. Uh, on why I think everything sucks nowadays. This is probably gonna be, I don't know, one more video, maybe 2, 3 videos. Small little series. I wanna do to keep myself consistent. So yeah, if you like the video, um, interact, please subscribe if you care. If you don't, uh, thank you for even watching this. This is how long? 17 minutes, for God's sake. Yeah. Thank you. Like, subscribe, comment. I love you all. Goodbye.